Why Harry and Meghan's love story is changing the monarchy forever. 1. Never supposed to fall in love. And certainly, never supposed to change the crown. But what if love, not duty, became the most powerful force inside the monarchy? Because that's exactly what happened when Harry met Meghan. 2. The story begins not in a palace, but in a world divided between tradition and freedom. Prince Harry, born into duty, raised under the unblinking gaze of the press, knew what it meant to live for the crown. But he also knew what it meant to lose the warmth of human connection. From his mother's tragic death, to the endless headlines that followed him like shadows, Harry had one constant question in his heart. Could he ever live a life that truly felt like his own? And then came Meghan Markle. A woman the monarchy never saw coming, confident, American, biracial, independent, and unapologetically herself. She wasn't born into royalty. She was born into reality, the world of auditions, hard work, and self-made dreams. When they met, it wasn't a royal setup or a media stunt. It was a quiet evening, a blind date arranged by friends, and in that moment, something shifted. Harry once said, "The moment I saw her, I knew I was in trouble." Because for the first time in his life, the prince who grew up surrounded by duty, found someone who spoke directly to his heart. The first loop, love versus legacy. Their connection was instant. But within days, the questions began. Who is she? Can she fit into royal life? Will the Queen approve? The British press devoured the story. Meghan, an actress, a divorcee, a woman of color, became the center of a media storm before she even said a word. And yet, Harry stood by her. That was the first change. No royal in modern memory had ever protected love over image so fiercely. Harry's statement to the press, "This is my girlfriend. She deserves respect. This is not a game," shook the palace walls. Because it wasn't just a defense of Meghan. It was a declaration that the monarchy's oldest unwritten rule, never complain, never explain, no longer applied to love. The second loop, the royal wedding that broke every rule. When the royal wedding arrived, millions around the world watched something extraordinary. A gospel choir sang, "Stand by Me." A black bishop spoke about the power of love in front of centuries of white marble and British history. And Meghan, in her simple, symbolic gown, walked halfway down the aisle alone, meeting Harry halfway. Half tradition, half transformation. It wasn't just a wedding. It was a message. This monarchy could evolve, but evolution comes with a price. Behind the fairy tale images, the couple faced invisible walls, questions about Meghan's identity, the weight of royal expectations, and the constant drip of tabloid poison. Every headline seemed designed to divide them. But instead, it drew them closer. They weren't just surviving, they were redefining survival. The third loop, the choice that shook the crown. Then came the decision that changed everything. January 2020. A single post. A few sentences that sent shockwaves through the palace and across the world. Harry and Meghan would step back from royal duties. The first senior royals in modern history to choose personal peace over institutional power. To the establishment, it was betrayal. To the world, it was bravery. They traded palaces for privacy, protocol for purpose. And when they spoke to Oprah, their words made the invisible visible, the emotional toll, the fear, the racism, the silence. It wasn't rebellion for rebellion's sake. It was a fight for the right to be human inside a system that worships image over emotion. The fourth loop, building a new kind of royal legacy. Today, Harry and Meghan live thousands of miles away from Buckingham Palace, but their influence has never been stronger. Through Archewell, they focus on mental health, community building, and global compassion. Their message isn't anti-royal. It's redefining what royalty means in the 21st century. For centuries, the monarchy represented hierarchy, distance, perfection, and silence. Harry and Meghan replaced that with something new, authenticity, vulnerability, and love that challenges power. And that terrifies tradition. Because if a prince and a duchess can live openly, love freely, and speak honestly, then the entire idea of royal distance starts to fade. They've shown millions that love is not weakness, that compassion is not rebellion, that even inside the world's oldest institution, the heart can still win over the crown. The fifth loop, the ripple effect. You can see it in how younger royals now approach public life, with more openness, more empathy, more humanity. You can see it in how global audiences no longer crave perfection, they crave truth. You can see it in how every royal story now asks, what would Harry and Meghan do? Their love didn't destroy the monarchy. It changed it, forever. Because in a world built on image, they reminded us of something ancient yet revolutionary. That true power doesn't come from a crown. It comes from courage. The closing message. So when you hear their names, whispered in gossip or debated in headlines, remember this. This isn't just the story of a prince and an actress. It's the story of two human beings who chose love over legacy, and in doing so, reshaped the meaning of royalty for generations to come. Because sometimes, the most powerful revolution begins with two people who simply refuse to let the world tell them who they're supposed to be. Soft music swells, fading into silence.